Wait. This will be fun to listen back to when I edit. All right. Tell your buddy it's on the show. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the first installment of State of the NFL. As always, my name is Garrett. I'm here with multiple co-hosts today. Let's start with Jim, who is actually right above me.
What's going on?
We got Jim from Fan of the Van, and we got Jalen, who is my other half at Two Dudes of Sports News.
What it do? What it do?
Sorry for being a little late, everybody. It's been a bit of a madhouse, but we're here, so we're going to get right into it. We should hopefully be joined a little bit later by Aaron from Brutally Honest Sports. So let's get a little bit into what's going to happen. So we want to turn this into a bit of a three-part series type thing. So we want to start out with the state of the NFL. We're going to take on two divisions apiece. I'm going to be handling the AFC and the NFC South. Jalen will be handling the AFC and NFC West. Jim will be handling the AFC and NFC North. And when or if Aaron is able to hop on, he'll be handling the NFC AFC East. Funny enough, our favorite teams are actually in one of those divisions across the board, which actually works out pretty well. So what we're going to do, we're going to kind of break down some of the offseason moves, how we think they're going to fare for the season, kind of go into it that way, and what's going to end up happening after that. We'll do it again right after preseason, going into the regular season. You know, maybe we'll backtrack, maybe we'll, double down, who knows. And at the end of the season, you can tell us why we're wrong, and we'll tell you why we're wrong as well, or why we're right. So let's get right into it.
Or why we don't care.
Exactly, or why we don't care. Well, let's get right into it, man. Jalen, you want to go first? So 20 minutes apiece to handle two divisions. Let it go. I'll let you know when you're at 10 and 2 minutes left to kind of wind down a little bit. So we'll start with you.
All right, let's get it. So I'm gonna start with the AFC West, and first things first, we got to go with the division and Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Obviously, we know Patrick Mahomes is still there. Travis Kelce is still there. They went out. They drafted a receiver. We used with one of their first round picks. I don't remember exactly, but they got a receiver out of that. They're potentially and reportedly thinking about acquiring DeAndre Hopkins, but that is a possibility. I just don't see it happening. But the Chiefs are still the Chiefs. They still got Sky Moore, still got Kadarius Toney. Andy Reid is still there. The defense is going to improve. Nick Bolton is going into his second year, and we saw flashes of him in the Super Bowl, actually in the playoffs in general. So I don't see nothing change as far as with the Kansas City Chiefs. I see them getting better. Can I see a regress possibly, but not likely, as long as they still got Patrick Mahomes. So there's that. I'm looking at their schedule right now. They start out the season at home. The banner night of week 1 against Detroit. Then they got Garrett's Jags on week 2, Chicago week 3, Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Hopefully we finally get the State Farm Bowl in that game on Sunday night. Praying for that. Then you got Minnesota right after. Then they start getting into division rivals, starting with Denver that week. Then they got the Chargers the week after, and then they face Denver the last week of October. Then you got Miami in Germany, which I felt like the NFL fumbled a bag on that game, but
That's an understatement.
I digress. And then they're on their bye week of week 10. So just looking at their first 9 games, at best I could see, I got them beating Detroit. I see them going 2-0, possibly 3-1. Definite. I can see 4-0. Worst case scenario, they go 2-2. The first 4 weeks. Then after that, they could possibly slip up on Minnesota, but I would have the Chiefs winning that one. They're home against Denver, mind you. That's a Thursday night game. Denver is coming. I'll get to Denver in a minute, but I got them winning that game. Then the Chargers are coming into the town. I will pick the Chargers to win week 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say Denver will get payback in Denver week 8. And then they got Miami. That's a coin flip game, but as of right now, I will go with the Chiefs to beat Miami. So let's see. I got them winning the division. Do I have enough time to go over the schedule?
Yeah, if you want to. Like I said, you got 20 minutes to do both divisions. Right now, you're at 3 minutes.
All right. Let's see. So Lions Lions win. Jags, Chicago. I think the Jets get them. So that's three. That's 3-1. Minnesota. That's 3-2. Scratch that. That's 4-1. 5-1. 5-2. 5-3. I'll go 6-3. Go into their bye week. Then you got the Monday night game against Philly. They're at
Mhm.
home, but I'm gonna go Philly on that one. So 6-4. Raiders. That's 7-4 at Green Bay. That might be a trap game. Green Bay in December might be a trap game, but I think they'll
Yeah.
pull it out. I'll go 8-4. Versus Buffalo like Sunday afternoon. I'll go okay. I'll go 9-4. I think they beat Buffalo at New England. I'm gonna go 9-5. I'll see New England like stealing a game on that one. They'll sweep the Raiders. They'll go 10-5. Cincinnati 10-6. I think Cincinnati's gonna win that game, and then they'll close it out Sunday on week 18 against the Chargers. Chargers not beating them in LA. They'll finish the season 11-6. That's my prediction on Kansas City.
All right.
Let's get to the Chargers next. So basically, what we know about the Chargers, they drafted Quentin Johnston out of TCU, add another receiver to go along, Keenan Allen and Mike Williams.
The second coming of Kelvin Benjamin, in my opinion.
And we'll see. We'll see. The defense still is still intact. You still got Joey Bosa and Khalil Mack. You still got
Mhm.
Kenneth Murray at defense, and of course you got Derwin James. Also, Asante Samuel Jr. is going into his second season, and he showed flashes. The Chargers are coming off blowing a 20-point lead against your Jags in the
27. 27.
27
Get it right. Thank you.
27-point lead. 27-point lead in the in the wild card round against the Jags. So they're coming off of that. Brandon Staley was receiving a whole lot of heat, but he was able to retain his job. They also
Somehow.
got a new offensive coordinator in Kellen Moore. Kellen Moore escaping from Dallas. Trying to find success there in LA. So we'll see. But
I can't wait.
overall, Justin Herbert's going into, I believe this is his fourth season.
Fourth season.
In the NFL. So we'll see how that goes. As of right now, this is how their schedule is panning out. They got the Dolphins week 1, like at home against Miami. Last time that they faced, the Chargers won, and Miami was going through a losing streak at that point. But I'm gonna say that would be a loss. I think Miami is going to get that win, so they'll start off 0-1. Then they're at Nashville. I'll see 1-1. They'll beat the Titans. Then they got to go to Minnesota in September. I'm gonna see 1-2. I think Minnesota will possibly get that win early in the day because Kirk Cousins is not playing in a primetime game. So I'm going 1-2 to start the season. Then they got the Las Vegas Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be in the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. So
Mhm.
I see 2-2 to start off with the Chargers because their bye week is going to be in week 5. Then coming in week 6, they're home against Dallas. Last time Dallas was in SoFi Stadium, possibly that was Trayvon Diggs' emergence game where he had
Mhm.
like beautiful interceptions, and then they ended up coming out with a win. Not to mention Michael Parsons, so that's going to be a Monday night game. I'm gonna pick the Chargers to win that game on Monday night. That'll put them at 3-2. Then, of course, they're at Kansas City. I got them losing that game. I got them losing that game. So let's see, 2-2. They're back. They're back there, 500 at 3-3. Chicago on Sunday night on NBC. I'm gonna pick the Chargers, but I could possibly change my mind by the time we get to preseason. So, what did I say? That's 6.
You got about
So
12 minutes left, by the way.
4-3. Jets, they're losing that one. 4-4. Detroit, I'm gonna pick the Lions to win that one. They're 4-5 at Green Bay. I think they're gonna go on a losing streak on this one. Chargers gonna go 4-6. Baltimore, they'll steal that game. I'll go 5-6 at New England. Chargers win that one against New England. Six and back to get back at 500. 6-6. Then they're home against the Denver Broncos. I'm gonna go loss on that one. So 6-7. Chargers Thursday night game against the Raiders. They win that one. They win that game. So dang it, I lost count. I'll go 7-7 on this one.
I got you.
Buffalo.
You said about 10 minutes left too.
Yeah, Buffalo. Okay, so Buffalo. Shoot. Buffalo. I think they'll lose that game. Against Buffalo, so they're back to 7-8. Then they got Denver. I think they'll get the win on that one because they'll be in desperate need into. So that'll put them back at 8-8 in Week 18 against the, Kansas City. If they got that edge, they're going to be home. I already had Kansas City winning that game, so that'll put them at at 8-9. So they'll be around the mid card. Fast forward to the Denver Broncos, Sean Payton, Russell Wilson going into a second year, hopefully better. We'll see how that goes. They beat the Raiders. Start off 1-0. I can see 2-0 with Washington. Then they'll lose to Miami. That'll be like 2-1. I'm gonna say they lose to Chicago. They'll lose to Chicago. I'll give Chicago a win on that one. So I can see 2-2 on that one. The Jets, I will go 2-3. I think the Jets will get that win. Kansas City will win that one as well. They'll go 2-4. So that'll be 4 straight losses. They'll rebound against Green Bay. That'll put them at 3-4. Then, they'll lose to Kansas City again. No, scratch that. I'll scratch that. I got Kansas. I got the Broncos winning at home against Kansas City on that one. That'll put them at 5. Jesus, I am off. I gotta write this stuff down.
Good, man. So
since I ain't got enough time and I didn't plan this one, I'm just gonna go ahead and call it. Chiefs winning that division.
Of course, yeah.
I can see playoff teams. I see would be the Chargers and the Broncos. But I would say the Broncos will edge out the Chargers once again, simply because I see the Broncos bouncing back better than what the Chargers are going to bring. Yes, they have a new offensive coordinator. Yes, they still have Justin Herbert. Yes, their defense has loaded with talent. But from what we've seen, Brandon Staley has not been that consistent at that way where leads are being held. So we will see. But as of right now, I have the Broncos second in the division. Can they make the playoffs? Possibly. The same thing goes with the Chargers. The Raiders, I see them going to try to get Caleb Williams or Drake May.
Absolutely. You signed Jimmy Garoppolo to a 4-year contract. You're not trying to win games. You're trying to scrape through and make it look like you're winning games. So that's it. So at that point, yeah, I'm with you. Jim, what do you think?
As far as Vegas goes?
Yeah.
If Garoppolo ain't healthy, they're going to go after Carson Wentz to bring him in as the starter. At that point, tank the season if you're Vegas. Tank, get Caleb Williams, rebuild the whole friggin' team, and that's it.
Fair enough. All right, Jalen. NFC West, what you got? Who's winning the division? Who made the best moves? Who's going to tank? Who's going to be overrated, underrated?
This by far is going to hurt my heart.
For those who don't know, Jalen's a big Seahawks fan. That's his team.
I want to pick my Seahawks, and I'm going to pick my Seahawks. My Seahawks.
There you go.
The division. The reason why I said it's going to hurt my heart, we wouldn't. I want it to be good, but I think it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a nail biter between us, the Raiders, us, the Rams, and the Niners. The Niners, they still got issues at the quarterback position. Are they loaded everywhere else? Yes, they're loaded everywhere else. You won't take that. You're not going to take that away. But you have to have a quarterback to be able to win that division.
Right.
That's non-debatable. That's non-negotiable. With the problem is with the Rams, they get their quarterback back, and how much will the Rams be able to get back into that Super Bowl mode? Jalen Ramsey's gone. Leonard Floyd, he is gone. You still got Aaron Donald, and you got a couple of other pieces. Have you been developing a lot of young talent? That is going to be the question. Have you been able to replace Andrew Whitworth? He's retired. He's been retired for a while. And can Matthew Stafford come back and be able to have that same chemistry with Cooper Kupp, Tyler Higbee, as well as just the other players that's on your team?
They're saying Stetson might be the dude next year.
And a lot of people's going to predict that because, he's a big name. Well, so, but he's a well-known name. But
just keep him away from the natty lights.
But with the why am I stuck on Chargers? But with the Rams, I see them bouncing back. They can get some good wins. They got their schedule, as I look at it right now. To start the season off, we got them. My Seahawks got them. Then you got the Niners. Then you got the Bengals, and you got the Colts. And then you got week 5. You got Philly. So their bye week is week 10, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of their first 5 games are against playoff teams, and one of them went to the Super Bowl. So they could possibly start off slow, but I wouldn't be surprised if they start off fast. They're not winning week 1. I'm giving that to my Hawks because we're gonna be home. But but right now, realistically, I can see the Rams starting off 1-5, or like 1-5 the first 5 weeks. Given that, and then they'll have to fight their way back, and that'll put them at a very bad disadvantage because you go to the Niners schedule. I'm gonna give a heads up. I'm not going to mention the Cardinals, not one bit. No faith in them. They I don't.
Ain't no need.
None. But
ain't no need.
Going back to the Niners. The Niners got to start off in Pittsburgh. Sorry, Jim. I gotta go Niners on this one. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I do know this. I trust that Niners offensive line right now more than I trust the front 7 of the Steelers. And I got tremendous respect for the Steelers, but I'm gonna get the edge to the Niners on that one. So they got Pittsburgh, they're at LA, and the Niners faithful owns that stadium of SoFi. So they can start. So right now, I got the Niners start 4-0. They're gonna have that edge. Then they got a dogfight in at home against Dallas in week 5, possibly go 5-0. The Niners could possibly get off to a really good start. But the reason why I'll say Seattle is gonna hit that stretch, I can see the Niners start slipping up around Minnesota, and they got Minnesota, Cincinnati, Jacksonville, skip Tampa Bay. Then they got us again, Philly, us again. And then you skip Arizona, Baltimore, and then they finish the season with Baltimore, Washington, and the Los Angeles. And the thing about Washington, that's a trap game, especially late in the season. They're not going to be playing for nothing, but they're not going to be playing to lose.
Right.
So with the Niners, with all that being said, I still got my Seahawks winning that one because I think we're going to get the tiebreaker between San Fran. Now with my Seahawks, first 4 games. Rams, Lions, Panthers, and Giants. 3-1. I think the one game we'll slip up on is going to be Detroit. We were there last year, but I think if I don't see signs of improvement on our defense, this offseason we picked up Devin Bush from Pittsburgh. We drafted well, getting Mike Morris from Michigan. I've been hearing a lot of reports about him. You just drafted Jackson Smith-Njigba, but he's coming off a hamstring injury right now in training camp. So there's a lot to tell. There's not a lot to tell right now. We just got to see how the game's being played. But right now, based off predictions, I see us going 3-1 and we slip up on Detroit. So I have San Fran going 4-0 their first 4 games. I got us going 3-1. We cutting it close because I do believe we're beating the Giants on Monday Night Football. Then we got to go to Cincinnati after our bye week in week 5, like in week 6. But after that, you got Arizona, Cleveland, Baltimore. Like you don't know what's going to happen with Baltimore during that time. Yes, they loaded up with weapons, but will everything be able to gel? So you got questions.
Will Lamar be healthy?
And that is true. Then after that, you got home with Washington. You got the Rams again. Then you're back on San Fran. So like Seattle's gauntlet doesn't start until week 12 through 15 because in week 12 you got San Fran, you got home San Fran, you got at Dallas, then you got at San Fran, and then you got Philly. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be a tough stretch right there between weeks 12 and 15 because you talk about end of November. Early December, it's gonna get cold. Scratch that. The only time it's gonna get cold, the only time it'll get cold will be in Seattle and at Philly. That's about the only time because Dallas is in a dome and San Fran's in California. So not much you got to worry about weather there outside of rain. And then you finish the season with Tennessee, Pittsburgh, and Arizona. So you're gonna win the last 3 games there. And you still don't know what's going to happen with the Niners. I think this is just going to be between the Niners and the Seahawks, and I got my Seahawks pulling out.
There you go. All right. Well, you are 45 seconds right on time, man. All right. Jim, is your buddy in the chat or I don't know?
I have no idea. All he said was he's going to check it out, so I don't know. If he's watching, he's watching. I don't know.
Hey, we'll find out. He's about 10 seconds behind us if it is. But do you want to jump in the AFC, NFC North? Or you want me to hop on the AFC, NFC South?
No, I'll hop on real quick. I'm going to do the NFC North first.
Go for it.
So, obviously, the first team you got to talk about is Green Bay, obviously. Losing Aaron Rodgers offensively is a huge hit, but in the locker room, it's such a positive. That's one. But Green Bay, of course, this year in the draft, did nothing to help Jordan Love. Again, I mean, defensively, they did to get Luke Van Ness, and then later on, they got him weapons, but you don't know what those weapons are going to be. You do have decent, you have a decent running back room there with Jones and Dillon, but outside of that, and Christian Watson, what do you really got there? I think Green Bay takes a step back that they may be in the Caleb Williams running as well. To be honest, I think the whole NFC North really comes down to Detroit, Chicago, and Minnesota. I mean, Chicago has improved vastly. That's one. Go and get DJ Moore. Hopefully, they can get rid of unmotivated Chase Claypool. By the way, thanks Chicago for that pick because we don't get Joey Porter Jr. without it.
Exactly.
The Lions beefed up as well this year. I mean, obviously they lose guys to that stupid friggin' suspension with the gambling and all that bullshit. But I mean, honestly, the NFC North really comes down to those 3 teams. I think Green Bay sits in the cellar for the first time in a while. I think the Bears take one of the wild card spots out of the NFC.
Oh,
I
for
think
sure.
The Lions, I think, fall just short of it, but do have a winning record, though. And at some point, I think you see Goff get hurt, and you might have to see if Hendon Hooker is ready to take the reins, because that's why you drafted him. You drafted Hendon Hooker to take the reins from Goff at some point. So as long as that ACL's healthy, he could be good to go. But I'm going to hop on to the AFC North. I'm going to start with Cleveland first, and I brought a surprise guest. Since it's Father's Day, I brought Cleveland's daddy, Ben Roethlisberger. Okay, since he owns your asses.
For those who aren't watching live, he's holding up a Ben Roethlisberger,
That's right. See?
Still in the package action figure.
There's your daddy, bitches. And I'll stop. Cleveland, listen, a full year under Watson, they're still going to be in the cellar. I mean, they have talent around them. Obviously,
right.
Nick Chubb is the best running back. Obviously Kareem Hunt is gone, so you don't have that 1-2 punch in the running back room. You made the trade with the Jets to get Elijah Moore, and now you get to see what Elijah Moore is going to be all about. You have Donovan Peoples-Jones. You have Myles Garrett on defense. they really didn't draft anybody that's really like impactful, in my opinion, because they were all later round draft picks. And the AFC North being one of the toughest divisions to actually win, Cleveland sits in fourth place again. And it really just comes down to, it's going to come down to Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, and Baltimore. I think Baltimore takes a step back because you sign Odell, which is a huge signing, but can he stay healthy? Can Bateman stay healthy? You know, is Zay Flowers going to be the answer as well? Is Lamar going to stay healthy? You know, is Lamar going to be more accurate? Does the defense take a step back? I think they lost Marcus Peters this year. I think he's still a free agent that's sitting out there. So I think so. Baltimore takes a step back. And if my buddy is in the chat, sorry, it's just the truth. I hate to say it, but Cincinnati's going to win the AFC North again. There's just no stopping Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. There's
honestly,
no stop at all. That chemistry is just one that not many quarterbacks have in this league with their receivers and get to do it from college into the NFL. And they got to do that. So, and that's one you can't stop. And
forget about T. Higgins. He's fighting for a contract.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. Do they sign him or do they trade him? And do you give Burrow a bigger extension than Patrick Mahomes is the other key piece too. And I think Cincinnati's going to pay Burrow well before they pay T. Higgins.
Well, you have to. You always got to protect your quarterback. The only issue is the owner for Cincinnati has a bad history of being cheap.
Yeah, he does. He really does. There was a while where he was. They didn't have. Do they still have They have an indoor facility now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It took them forever to get one.
But Cincinnati's owners got to realize that you've made these strides to become an actual decent team in the AFC North when you were just as bad as Cleveland at one point. And you're going to have to break open the checkbook. You're going to have to pay Joe Burrow. I mean, the kid's earned it at this point. I mean, what was his second year? He brings you to a school. Yeah, you didn't win it, but he's up there with Mahomes.
And the thing about it, like you don't get paid a max for showing what you've done. You get paid what you potentially are going to do. And Joe Burrow, where he's at, he continuously shows that he's going to continue to get better.
Yeah, that he is, and you know, and that's what makes this AFC North so hard, especially for my team, because you know. It used to be, it was always Baltimore and Pittsburgh as the two toughest teams that you had to play. Now you got three, because now you got to include Cincinnati. And Pittsburgh's had one of the biggest off seasons they've ever had. I mean, you lose Edmonds, you lose Cam Sutton, but you draft Joey Porter Jr., you trade up to get Broderick Jones, you get one of the steals in the draft with Darnell Washington, where they're going to use more as a sixth lineman than a tight end. You know, you get Cody Trice in the 7th round, which they're saying is going to be the ultimate steal of the draft. You know, you bring in Patrick Peterson, you bring in Cole Holcomb, all these guys to, in essence, to beef up the defensive line and the offensive line. And the main question really is, can Matt Canada run a successful offense without just calling jet sweeps every other 5 friggin' seconds? That's what we see.
I cannot wait to see everybody reuse the Blame Canada South Park gif over and over and over again for this season.
Wait, what?
I don't even know how that got this job.
There's a gif because there's a gif from South Park that's on Twitter. If you type in Canada, it's just Kyle and Ike's mom flipping over like a presentation. It says Blame Canada. So after every Steelers loss, there's always someone who puts that in the comments, says Blame Canada, because Matt Canada has notoriously fucked up y'all's games.
Yeah.
I don't know how he still has a job.
I don't know either, but the other issue is that you have to have confidence the way that they had it with Ben, where you just have to let Kenny Pickett call the game from the line at some point. I get last year, he's a rookie. You know, you throw him in there when Mitch wasn't playing too good. And, you know, everybody's saying he's not the answer. But it's his rookie year, and he's, you know, maybe he's not going to acclimate as fast to the NFL the way that Joe Burrow did.
Mhm.
But Kenny Pickett is the answer in Pittsburgh, and you just have to give it time to develop. Now,
Jalen.
develop this year. Deontay Johnson is another key in the offense. I mean, he's one of the hardest working guys in the offseason. If you ever seen his training videos,
Yep.
I'm out of just watching them.
Yeah, dude, balls out.
And and then people are ripping him for his drop catches. But do you realize he had the least amount of drop catches in the league last year, as opposed to Diggs and Justin Jefferson and all these top guys that everybody's saying they don't ever drop a pass. Diggs had like over 20 drop passes this year. I think Justin Jefferson was right up there with it, and Deontay was like at the lowest. I think with like 10.
The reason why Jet dropped so much is because Kirk throws to him in quadruple coverage.
Yeah.
But I want to go back. I want to go back to something that you said, Jim. You said when Mitch Trubisky wasn't playing that good. Wait, when was Trubisky playing good? That's my question.
His second to last season with the Bears, when Adam Gase was still on smelling salts.
He was decent to start. I mean, he wasn't as good.
Okay, decent. I agree, but you said you playing that good. You used to work good.
Better than what he usually would play at. But when you throw like 3 interceptions in the first half, and the hometown, the home fan base is chanting to put in Kenny Pickett. At some point, we had to see him. You just throw him out there, and then people are criticizing Kenny Pickett for throwing interceptions. But look at the play calling; it's the same repetitive nonsense that even defenses are like, "Oh, they're running the same play again. They're running the same play again." So the defenses already knew what the play was before it was even called, because that's how predictable Canada is. And now with all this young talent on the offense, as far as Deontay and George Pickens and Pat Fryermuth, and you bring back Zach Gentry, even though he's not the household name at tight end, he can still catch and block for you. And you got to be more creative. Like, again, you just can't call jet sweeps. You beefed up the O-line, so between Najee and Jalen Warren, they should each have over 1,000 yards rushing this year, assuming everything goes right and barring any significant injuries.
I mean, you would think. I mean, it's injuries are the thing, and I know with Kenny especially, you've got to make sure he doesn't stay concussed.
Yeah,
so that's part of the issue.
That's why you draft Broderick Jones, and then like every other team, you have drama within the organization, and Kevin Dotson's kind of creating it, where he's like, I don't see Broderick Jones as a starter. And I think the reason why he's saying that is because he knows Broderick Jones can take his job at any point. I mean, any kid that comes out of college, especially out of the SEC, is already NFL ready.
Yep.
Whether they're from Alabama, Georgia, Florida State, any of those teams, they're all ready to play at an NFL level because they're all coached by guys who mentally and physically prepare them to. So I think week one,
even Vanderbilt.
But not Vanderbilt.
Okay.
Not Vanderbilt.
Maybe not Vandy.
Not okay. Maybe for the MLB. Maybe for the MLB.
Hey, Florida's in the finals right now. Vandy's not. Let's go. So, yeah, I mean, I'm with you on that. Jim, what else you want to get into the
The one thing I got to say, and it's one of the picks that Jalen made, you go back to, what was like 2 years ago, like it was like Ben's last season, and everybody said Buffalo was going to demolish Pittsburgh, and we seen what happened. And I think the Steelers steal game 1 this year against the Niners, because it's not going to be Brock Purdy at quarterback. It's going to be Sam. I'm seeing Ghost Darno, and I don't think Sam Darno is good.
Actually, I think it might be Trey Lance. By the time we get to preseason, I think it might be Trey Lance.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely not going to be big confidence, Brock.
Yeah, because like I've seen videos of him doing workouts. I think he hasn't been cleared to like for contact yet. But if we're seeing him move around, making throws, I think he might start week 1 because he's like, I think unfairly, this might be his last season, depending on how things go. Mm-hmm. They might move him from Sam. In my opinion, I think they might move him very soon if he does not perform at least to a decent level. Because a lot of Niners truly believe in Brock Purdy, as they should, because this guy did get you to a conference championship game. Bar the injury, nobody knows what's really going to happen. But Brock Purdy did get you there. We understand Trey Lance is the fourth overall pick. But at the same time, this is a business. You got to get guys that's going to help you win at that moment. And nowadays, GMs want to win now. Owners want to win now. So you got to put in the best guy to get you to win.
Unless, of course.
You said what?
Unless you're Cleveland.
Or Dallas.
Or Dallas. Yeah, that's true. What? Yeah, I tell you what, whatever Lord Jerry says down there in Dallas, that goes.
Yeah, I'm getting ready for another year of this is our year. This is our year. Yeah, break out your VCRs and watch the '96 Super Bowl again.
The Cowboys have not won a Super Bowl since the Jaguars have been a team.
The last time the Cowboys were in the Super Bowl was when the Motorola StarTAC came out. You're going back a long time. I think I was like,
okay, look. Here's that. I'm a professional Cowboy hater, and I love to hate on them. But let's just keep this on this before we start getting comments and people say we're living rent free in their heads. We're not, but I don't care.
I mean, I'll take it. I'll take all of it. I mean, because what I want to do is I want to look at the biggest events of 1996, which was their last Super Bowl win. Just to kind of find it. It was the first season of Major League Soccer. See what else we got. Apparently, Prince Charles and Diana divorced, which none of us care about.
God, dog.
You know what one of the top toys was that year? Tickle Me Elmo.
Wow.
Tickle Me Elmo was a top toy that year. The Nintendo 64 came out.
Jesus.
Yeah. Just best video game systems ever.
Oh yeah. Well, just I always love doing this when it's like way back in time because I like bringing that up because it makes you think of, oh my God, that was so long ago. So Dallas has not won a Super Bowl since the Nintendo 64 was invented. That's fun. And counting. Yeah, it's going to be a little bit longer because you just lost your offensive coordinator who I wouldn't say was holding you back, but he certainly wasn't hurting you. And now San Diego has him, not San Diego. So for those of you who aren't watching live, Jalen has put up the Cowboys Circle of Life. Season starts, win some games. What's the bottom one say? Because you're blocking it.
Oh, shoot, I don't know.
Season starts, win some games.
Go to the playoffs, choke in the playoffs. Season starts with some games. Go to the playoffs, choke in the playoffs. All y'all do. I'll take all that smoke. You're not good. You're not good. You fell ass backwards into CeeDee Lamb. Zeke's gone. Tony Pollard's hurt. Dak ain't the answer. He's great for a fourth round quarterback because that's what he was, and he's exceeded all expectations. And I'll give him his flowers for that. However,
okay,
he's not the dude.
Here's the order: is season starts, win some games, fans get their hopes up. We them boys. This is our year, choking the playoffs. And then again.
We them boys. We got Zeke. Not anymore. We got Dak. Shout out Chisel Adonis on that one. If y'all don't watch him, y'all need to. His commentary is great.
Facebook, whenever the Cowboys lose, it's always whoever the quarterback is. Oh, I'm just checking to see if you still them boys.
Yeah. Last time I checked, y'all not. But I mean, that's it for that.
The deal with that fan base than the regular off-season champs for the past like 30 plus years, and not being Cleveland. Every year, they win the off-season every year because they feel they're going to go undefeated. This guy's the answer. That guy's the answer. You know what the answer is? Let the NFL take Cleveland away again like they did and made the Baltimore Ravens
Mhm.
and put him somewhere else. Put him somewhere else. The Cleveland don't need to be a football team
You
anymore.
want to
This is
send? Hold up. You want to send them to Oakland?
Sell
Yeah.
the team. Sell the
Hold
team.
up. Too soon.
Sell the team.
Too soon.
Send them to Oakland.
Send them somewhere. Sell the team, man. They're not winning in Cleveland.
Oakland.
The only thing that rocks in Cleveland is the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and that's pretty much it. That's it. Yeah, I'll take that Cleveland smoke all day. But I mean, that's pretty much it. You got anything else you want to get into the AFC or NFC North, Jim?
No, I think pretty.
I do got a question, Jim. Let me ask you this: as a Steelers fan, do y'all hate Browns more than any other team in the division?
Right now, yeah, because the Browns fans.
I'm asking all time. I'm asking all time.
All time, it's the Browns. Because since I can remember, all they do is just they start their little yiggity yak on social media, and they come up with these things in their head where like this guy's better than this guy, or oh, we got this guy, we're winning it all, and they just say the most absurd shit, and it's you don't want to retaliate, but then at some point it's like, you know what, enough's enough, and you just have to like I can respect Ravens fans, I can respect Bengals fans, the knowledgeable ones, because there's every fan base has got a percentage of that fan base that just talks the most absurd nonsense, and even Steeler fans have it too, and I'm just
we got plenty. I'm one of those guys.
And I'm just like, listen, I don't claim you as a Steeler fan. Sorry, you're not in my percentage. You're in friggin'
delusional category.
You're way the hell over there.
You're far left.
You're with all Cowboys fans. You're with all the Browns fans. You're with all the Chargers fans.
The unreasonable Chiefs fans.
The unreasonable Chiefs fans. I mean, honestly, the only way Cleveland wins is if Cleveland sells the team, fires the GM, and salt the earth, like just burn everything, burn the ships, and then build up from the beginning.
Okay, all right. So here's how I feel. I don't believe that. I'm actually going to play devil's advocate, try to defend Cleveland on this one. Here's the reason why.
There's one person on the team you can't defend, and that's why they're so delusional. You can't defend Deshaun Watson.
Actually, I can because here's the only way I can. I'm gonna be a conspiracy theorist on this.
Careful.
I'm gonna play conspiracy theorist on this. All right. I think he got set up. That's my feeling. That's my opinion. I believe he got set up. Remember,
that's one thing that has been said. But even before you said, like when all that happened, it's one thing that was put out there. That
because he wanted to get out of Houston so bad. After he got that contract.
Here's the only thing I'll say.
All right.
And when there is a saying, when there's smoke, there's fire.
Yeah.
Sometimes the fire is put out, but whenever there's 21 grills on fire,
yeah.
When there's 21 sources of smoke, there's usually fire.
No.
That's what I'm saying.
No. Hold on.
21 sources.
Some of those are not some of those are not grills. Some of those are either charcoal mixed with burning wood, and you add too much lighter fluid on it to the point where you intentionally add way more fire than you should, and then the sparks start jumping out. When you put it in the wrong
dog, I'm not helping you here. I'm not helping you here. You're on go on this one, man.
I know. I don't need your help on that.
That's
Look, but anyway, going along with that, let's get back to football.
Don't cancel us, please.
Please. Look, here's what I'm gonna go football related. I think when you take account Deshaun Watson, with Kevin Stefanski's still there. Okay.
Somehow.
Yeah, he's still there.
Remember at the beginning we saw Deshaun Watson struggle, which is a guy that hasn't played football in about a year or 2 years.
But he looked like he hadn't picked one up in 2 years. That was the thing.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing, though. Sometimes,
no way he didn't pick up football in 2 years.
Bro, you cannot simulate actual football, NFL type football, anywhere else but actually being in the NFL game.
I agree. I'm with you on that. However, you can simulate your throwing motion by throwing, and he didn't even have that down.
But dog, you also got to take the mental. Like, as much as we learned about like mental health, you also got to take the mental aspect of it. Remember, the first game was in Jacksonville.
I know, and we ate him for lunch.
True, but you got to take that to an account. Maybe all the stuff finally got to him, and not as far as off the field. That's part of it. But the other aspect of it is like, dang, I really haven't been on this field. I haven't been here in a long time. I haven't thrown or played or read the defense live, take those hits, make those throws in a long time. I got to get the rust off. All that other stuff, yeah, it's in the back of your mind, but that ain't the main priority with a guy like him. Because I don't think he's weak-minded. I don't.
No,
he's basically, you can be strong-minded and still make dumb decisions. That is a fact. But I don't think he's weak-minded to the point where the crowd's going to get in his head. No, he went to Clemson, all right? He went to Clemson, dominated there, and not to mention, he got hit by grown men that were in the league by Alabama, and he beat them. He beat us. I can't let that one slide. So here's where I'm going with this. Myles Garrett, he's still going to be contender for Defensive Player of the Year.
He's a dog. He's the only guy on the team besides Nick Chubb that I like.
Zadarius Smith, he's there now. He's still got enough in the tank to be able to get to the pass rusher.
Why is he there?
I don't know, because he signed there.
His career to die. That's where you go, Cleveland.
Unless you're a quarterback and then you go to the Jets.
You're not wrong. Or unless okay, career to die, possibly. To never win, that's gonna be Dallas. You get the illusion. Here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Last thing I want to touch on. They still got Denzel Ward. They still got. I don't think they got Greedy Williams no more. Even if they do, they got Newsome. They got talent there. The thing is, your division is just loaded on a different level. Even though you got guys that can play at that level, I think when you have the talent that they do have, we have to see them. We have to see them have to put it together. Kevin Stefanski's already proven he can coach this game and at this level. Deshaun Watson, now that he got the year under that belt, now he already got warmed up. Now he's going through the rotation. I do not have Cleveland winning that division. I'm not going to go that far. No, I ain't going to go there. But can they make some noise and at least be mid? I can see that.
But that's all they are.
No. No, that's not all they are. Back then, they used to be garbage bag over the face. Mid is, believe me, I'm a Hawks fan. I know mid.
I'm a Jaguars fan. I know it too.
No,
but what I'm saying is,
you know ass.
Yes.
Yes, you know ass.
That's fair.
Cleveland knows ass. Now they have a chance to move over to mid. You take it one step at a time. Deshaun Watson was brought there to be able to take it over mid. You gotta start off slow.
Here's the thing though, and we talked about this off air, and I'm gonna talk about it now, and then we'll move on from Cleveland because I could bash Cleveland all night. The Browns have had 3 10-win seasons since 1990.
Okay.
You've had 33 years and 3 10-win seasons.
Question: Has the quarterback list hit Bible status? Because that's a long list.
It's a long list, don't get me wrong, but the point I'm trying to make, you have 3 10-win seasons.
Yep.
And how many finishes in the top 2 of your division? You have 1, 2, 3 second place finishes in your division in over 30 years.
Yeah.
This is what I'm talking about. Y'all are stagnant. Y'all are stagnant pond water, and if it's anything we know down in the South, it's stagnant water. We know stagnant water.
Hold on, wouldn't that be in Michigan?
No, that's brown water.
Okay,
that's undrinkable water.
Okay,
one shit.
Oh my God, they got to get that together.
But like I said, I think with the talent, here's the if you lack talent, all right, bet. I don't see Cleveland being bad like the Raiders. I don't see it being that bad. You can give me that.
They'll squeeze eight. They'll squeeze six to eight games in there. That's pretty much it. But they won't do anything crazy.
That's what I see. I think they're gonna be the type of team that's going to lose games lose some games that they're supposed to lose and they're not supposed to lose, but also win some games that they're not supposed to win, and that they're not supposed to win.
So Cleveland.
Yes.
Cleveland.
No. The new Cleveland. Old Cleveland was paper bag in your ass, and you competing for a top 5 pick. Now is mid.
Hey, you polish a turd, it's still a turd, man. That logo.
It's not really. You don't polish a turd, but you can't shoot. Not really. It's more like you got an old rusted down car. You can at least try to make it look presentable, for as a decoy.
That's fair. All right. Well, let's get right into the AFC South and the NFC South.
Actually turn it on.
Since we want to talk about mid, let's get into the NFC South first. And I might be doing the AFC East. Aaron is on his way. He may not be on for another 30 minutes. So I might do the AFC East while he's looking to hop on, and I'll let him do his division. But let's get right into it. So we got to start with the NFC South. Speaking of mid, we'll start with what was formerly known as, the team formerly known as Tampa Bay. Lost Tom.
Yeah, Baker Mayfield, speaking of Cleveland.
Signed Baker Mayfield, speaking of Cleveland, and you got my boy Kyle Trask, who are going to battle it out to replace Tom Brady.
It's going to take more than one quarterback to replace that dude.
And nobody, as much as I hate Brady, nobody's replacing the talent that is Tom Brady. Not Baker, Kyle Trask. Nobody they ever bring in is going to ever replace Tom Brady.
No. And
I hate the guy, but I can't take away what he's done.
No, I feel the same way about there's so many players I feel the way about.
Do you
Tom
hate
Brady
more? Or do you hate Gronk?
I love Gronk.
No, I was asking Jim.
I hate Brady.
I ask this to every single fan.
I hate Brady, but I could tolerate Gronk to a degree.
Yo soy la fiesta.
I like him as a player, but just keep him off TV doing any pregame or analyst bullshit.
Oh, he's a moron, but I love him.
He's
a frat boy.
Mm-hmm.
He's a frat boy.
Yeah, well, I'll out of that eventually.
No, and the thing with it too is he was the one. And the one thing I will give Gronk is whoever managed his money was super smart. He lived off his signing bonuses. He hasn't touched his signing bonus and endorsements. He hasn't touched his contracts, and this was years ago. So I mean, dude's fine. That's a smart way to do it.
You got to give him credit, bro.
Yeah.
You're able to, you take advice, you learn.
Yeah, give credit where credit's due. But let's get to Tampa Bay.
Skip Bayless would say Brady's the reason why he kept all that money.
Yeah,
Skip Bayless would say Tom Brady's the reason why Gronk kept all that money.
Says a lot of things with his frosted tips that bleach is leaking into his brain. But you get Matt Fiedler, you got Greg Gaines, Ryan Neal. You've got a bunch of additions that don't really do a whole lot. They just kind of re-signed some players. There weren't really anything too crazy in the offseason. They drafted decently. It wasn't anything nuts. For me, I think Kyle Trask, this is going to be the weakest division in sports this year.
I agree.
This is the weakest division of the league. I think Trask is going to be starting by mid-season, without a doubt. It's going to be a 6-11 team. They'll do okay, but I mean, I have 5 or 6 wins. I'm 6-11 at best, and some of these I'm being generous with.
3, maybe 2 division wins.
Yeah, no, it's not going to be a lot.
I'm trying to figure out which division team is going to sweep them.
No one's going to sweep. This is going to be splits across the board. There's not a single sweep in the NFC South this year. It's all 50-50. It's all 1-1 games.
We'll see.
It's all 1-1 games.
Oh yeah. Well, Shaq Barrett is there. He's still there.
Shaq Barrett's still there, but defense can't win. Again, and I'll get into this when I talk about Tennessee. You can't win the division with a low points per game average.
True, but you look at the offensive line, they still got Ryan Jansen, Donovan Smith, I believe is still there. You got some pieces on the offensive line as much. Mike Evans is still there, along with Godwin and Russell Gage.
They have the pieces, but the problem is that it's the quarterback.
That guy is gone.
Yeah, the guy is gone. So I mean, I got Tampa going 6-11 at best. I'm gonna take a couple shots at your boy Jalen. We're going to the Panthers. Panthers did well. They had a decent offseason. They're gonna have they fired Matt Rule, which was beyond necessary.
Yep.
I don't know why they traded McCaffrey, but that's neither here nor there.
I think for the reason why they were able to get Bryce Young, get picks.
Bryce Young.
They weren't doing anything. You didn't want to waste a dude's talent.
So I mean, like it's like I don't know. I mean, Bryce Young will be fine. Bryce Young will be starting by week 3 at least. Andy Dalton might get the first couple games. We'll see.
I think Bryce Young's already been moved to QB1.
Frank Wright already acknowledged it.
No, well then never mind. I take that back.
Yeah.
So Bryce will be starting week 1. It'll be fine. I mean, it'll be interesting to see. The biggest thing for me is I don't think his height's going to be too big a deal. There's plenty of 5'10", 5'11" quarterbacks in the NFL. One of the best passers to ever play this game, Drew Brees, was under 6 feet.
Yep.
So, I mean, you can be a smaller quarterback and still succeed. Now, you need to have football smarts.
Just don't play Call of Duty all the time.
Don't play Call of Duty. Look like a toddler runner with a TV remote that was still the greatest or analytical thing I've ever seen, and now I can't unsee it when I watch him run.
And don't cuss at your coach.
Don't be Johnny Manziel. That's very, very easy. Don't be Johnny Manziel. But I digress. They signed a bunch of aging vets to kind of replace DJ Moore, which isn't a terrible move, but I mean, it's going to be difficult because Bryce Young doesn't really have anybody to throw to.
Oh, he got Mingo out of Ole Miss.
He's got Mingo out of Ole Miss, but you've got either unproven rookies, guys who in their second or third year who have always just been average, and you've got vets who were on their last leg. So you said what?
They brought in Adam Thielen, who's still got some left in the tank too.
Yeah, but I mean, again, he's almost 30. So I mean, you've got a receiver who's on his last couple of years. So it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. Dalton will be a decent mentor for him. I'm not too worried about that. I got him going 8-9. Nothing crazy, nothing flashy. They'll be okay. Like I said, this is going to be the most mid division in all of the NFL this year. Now we got to talk about the New Orleans Saints. I think Derek Carr was a decent addition. He's better than Jameis. He's better than whoever else they had. Taysom Hill has clearly proven he's not the quarterback. He's a gadget dude, which I mean is great. Every team needs that gadget guy, and that's going to be fine, but Taysom Hill isn't it. And I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it is. I think they had some decent additions. Brian Brees was a decent draft. Foskey was a decent pick. A.T. Perry was a good steal in the draft, and Jake Haener could be the, heir apparent or quarterback. We'll see. And it was a late round pick, so it's fine. I still don't think they're going to be that good. My predictions are going to be Michael Thomas still plays less than 4 games, and the Saints have a slightly below average season. They're going to be 7-10.
I'm gonna give Michael Thomas. I think he plays 10.
I got 4 games.
I give it 7 or 8.
I got no faith. I have zero faith in and I like
it. Ain't about faith in that. I'm gonna say, like, dogs, you fighting for your job right now.
I love nothing but love for the slant god, but I mean, you haven't played a full season. I think Jalen, you and I might have still been in college when he played a full season last. It's been a minute.
I think it's 2019. That was the year he broke the receiving yards record, the reception record. And 2019. Reception.
You were still in college. I was out.
Yeah, reception record and offensive player of the year.
Ridiculous. They're going 7-10. Decent placeholder for Carson to save the franchise.
And for what the Saints said, they got screwed out of that playoff game with the Rams.
They did. But that's a different conversation for another day.
Yep.
Got to talk about the home state team. Got to finish it off with the Falcons. I think Falcons win the division. I
haven't gone there yet. I haven't got to that point yet.
Here's why. Falcons win the division. They dominated the offseason free agency signings. Jesse Bates, David Onyemata, Jeffrey Okudah was a steal of a trade.
Onyemata was the biggest. Onyemata to me was the biggest pickup.
That was a great pickup. Jesse Bates was a great pickup. They did great in the offseason. Calais Campbell too. But then you also have Bijan Robinson. So you finally have that Saquon, McCaffrey, Derrick Henry type back that Arthur Smith has always wanted this team to have. You're still not going to be able to use Kyle Pitts because you're a moron, And I don't know why you're using one of the best pure pass catching tight ends that we've seen in this league in years as a blocking tight end. And it drives me insane.
Who you hashtag free Kyle Pitts?
Free Kyle Pitts, please, or trade this man or whatever. Like let him ride off into the sunset. Don't pick up his 5th-year option. Let him use him as trade fodder. I don't care. Get him out of Atlanta. I'm sick of this. Let this man be free.
Go ahead.
I got Bijan Robinson's going to be starting over Cordell Patterson by week 2. There's no reason he's not.
That starting thing don't mean jack. They run the 3 running back rotation.
No, they're doing 2. Bijan's going to be the guy. Bijan's going to be the guy. Bijan has the ability to be that guy. I think Clark Phillips too was a fantastic steal late in the draft. I don't know why he dropped into like round 3 or 4. Fantastic pickup. The Falcons go 9-8, win the division. Bijan will literally put the team on his back for a few wins. This is the only fantasy advice I'll ever give anybody. Don't draft any of the Falcons receivers or tight ends. You will not use them. You won't use them unless they're like spot starts and you're in like a 15-person league.
You're forgetting the biggest elephant in the room.
And what would that be?
In this case, you're forgetting the biggest bobcat in the room. Desmond Ridder.
You mean Bearcat?
Bearcat.
You could, man. Look, Ridder will be fine. He's Ridder has
That's
proven
the only thing we don't know, dog.
He's a game manager, and the biggest thing with it, and one of the issues he had at Cincinnati, one of the issues he's having in training camp right now, based on reports, is accuracy. So he's going to be inaccurate still.
And how he plays in big games. That's my only issue.
Mm-hmm. We'll see. I mean, he's either going to be the dude or he's not. And I mean, if Ridder can hold it together for the full season, all you need to be in that Arthur Smith system is a game manager. Remember, Arthur Smith is the guy who made Tannehill look like a star quarterback.
That's because he had a king in the backfield.
I will eviscerate this man in a couple seconds. give me a minute. So that's it for the NFC South. Falcons win it. Tampa Bay is going to be in last place, but I mean, there's nothing but division splits in this thing. It's nothing special. Let's start.
Based off of all that, who are the teams that you see competing for the Caleb Williams sweepstakes?
Tampa
Bay.
Tampa Bay for sure. Vegas is absolutely going to compete for it. I'm trying to think. Minnesota won't. Panthers won't. Texans won't. Titans won't.
Lions won't.
Lions won't. Titans might. No, they won't. They're too hard-headed for that. Chiefs won't. Chargers won't. Denver won't.
Yep.
Seattle.
Yep.
Seattle won't.
Seattle won't. They'll be fine. No Vikings, no Bears, no Bengals, no Bills.
Maybe Cardinals.
Maybe Cardinals. I would say the Cardinals. I would say the Raiders, and I would say maybe the Saints.
I don't see the Saints with Derek Carr.
No. I think if they don't do good and they somehow get like a top 10 pick or some sort, then I can see them go quarterback. They won't get Williams. Maybe May. Maybe Spencer Rattler out of South Carolina.
The reason why, and I know Jimmy said Jets, and the reason why I don't think the Jets are going to do it, and because it looks like I'll be taking over the AFC East one for sure. Rodgers will be the reason why they don't get a top 10 quarterback in this year's draft, but we'll get into that in a second. Got to get into my division. Got to get into the reigning champions of the AFC South, the reigning champions of the AFC Mid. We'll call it what it is. We're not a very deep division. It's us. There's one team who isn't rebuilding. There's one team who's in rehab, and there's two teams who are rebuilding. That's how this is working. Start with one of the rebuilding teams, Houston. Houston made a bunch of free agency moves, which I'm happy about. Shaq Mason, Jimmy Ward, Robert Woods, all decent picks. They won the draft by far. It's between Houston and the Steelers, where I think the two teams did the best in the draft. Bears did well too. But getting C.J. Stroud and Will Anderson Jr. was an absolute masterclass. I think it's going to be smart. I think they definitely make a big impact right at the gate. I think Tank Dell is going to be a little bit of a sleeper pick for wide receiver. I think my biggest thing with Tank Dell, though, is going to be his body being able to hold up to these NFL level hits and being able to hold up to an NFL caliber season. That's my biggest concern. I do think that they go 6-11 because they're still rebuilding. I want to be very, very clear on that. They're rebuilding. Just because you had a very good draft and signed a lot of free agents doesn't mean that you rebuilt in a year. This isn't Madden. That's not how this works. They're going to go 6-11. Stroud is going to outperform the other 4 rookie quarterbacks. I think he's going to be the best of the 4 just because of the situation he's in. And he has some veteran presence around him. He's got some rookie presence around him. He'll be, I think, the best of the 4. He'll do all right, but the team just isn't there yet. And I get to call somebody back out on Twitter, but who said they were a playoff team, which they are not. Let's get into our friendly neighbors to the north. Let's get into the Indianapolis Colts. Had a fantastic offseason. Ebicom was a great addition to the defensive line. Richardson was definitely it'll be a huge, this was a boom or bust type signing. Richardson, I've said it since the beginning, he has the lowest floor, but the highest ceiling of any quarterback in this class. He has all the intangibles, do everything. Jalen, you're on mute.
But also might be the biggest risk.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He's the biggest risk in the entire class. He has the lowest floor, but the highest ceiling. He has an absolute cannon for an arm. And if you look at his tape in Florida, this is not a Gator fanboy speaking here. If you look at a lot of his tape, he suffered from a ton of drops. Yes, there were poor decisions. That is what it is. I'm not going to, I'm not going to kind of, mince words here. There were definitely some poor decisions, but, that was his first year as a full starter. But the intangibles are there. The size is there. The mechanics are getting there. The arm strength is there. The athleticism is there. Apparently he's been picking up the playbook like that. So it'll be interesting to see how this pans out. I think he's starting by week 3. However, it's very, very clear to see what all the teams are doing when they drafted different players. They're trying to find a way to stop us. Blake Freeland was a good pick. I'm not going to try to pronounce. I am Adetomiwa Adebawore. I butchered your name, dude. I'm sorry. I butchered your name, man. I'm sorry. Good defensive line pick. Absolute freak athletes. Josh Downs was a great pick as well. I think him going late in the draft was a good steal. They're building up weapons. I think they finally have some help. But again, this is all going to hinge on the health of Jonathan Taylor and the ability of Anthony Richardson to slow down this game quicker than any other quarterback in this division. That all being said, 5-12. Struggles out the gate. He's not going to do so hot. He's going to hit his stride towards the end of the season. Defense can help him in some games if the defense can stay healthy, but Richardson is going to struggle early on. Now let's get into the Titans before we get into my Jaguars. Titans are the team that's in rehab, if y'all couldn't figure it out by now. I don't know if they know what they are. It's getting to the point now where you can't just feed Derrick Henry the ball and rely on him because your offensive line was one of your biggest weaknesses offensively last year.
Taylor Lewan is gone.
Taylor Lewan is gone. They did sign Skoronski, which was a great pick. I will give them credit for that. That was a great pick, and it's very clear to see that they know where their issues are on offense. However, didn't really do a ton in the offseason. I mean, Andre Dillard was a decent pick, but it's been super underwhelming, and he's been behind players in Philly for his entire season or his entire career, so it's kind of easy to see why he wasn't starting. Will Levis was an absolute moron of a pick. I don't understand that. The full banana peel on eating mayonnaise in my coffee, drinking. Oh, yeah. For those who are watching live, everybody's eyes just rolled. Dude, I don't know. His mechanics are off. Who puts mayonnaise in their coffee? I don't know. I'll put mayonnaise on like bread to toast it because it still works similar as butter and you can't taste the difference. Don't at me. You can't. I've tried it multiple times. You can't tell. However, I have never used mayonnaise.
We're gonna have to have a conversation on you putting mayo on buttered toast.
I've never done.
No. Not butter and mayonnaise. I'm saying use mayonnaise because it's an oil-based thing to toast the bread. That's what I'm getting at.
I will toast that thing dry before I will put mayonnaise on there.
I will
make a ham sandwich. I'll make a turkey sandwich.
Bro,
I would use mayo.
No. Here's what I'm gonna do. The next time you're in town, I will find you and I will make you 2 sandwiches and you'll not be able to tell. I fucking promise you.
All right, but I'm gonna quote. All right,
I promise you.
But I'm gonna quote Squidward. When I die, you stay away from my funeral.
I'm gonna be there giving the eulogy, and you know it. So Tennessee is gonna be exactly that. They're gonna win less than 8 games. I don't know how many games they're gonna win, but it's gonna be less than 8. Tannehill and Vrabel are gone at the end of the season because there's nothing else you can do at this point. It's on the coach and the quarterback. You have a failed college wide receiver as your starting quarterback. The fact that he's made it this long in the league is absurd to me. You have Derrick Henry, who is almost hitting year 30. He's almost 30 years old. No running back is very productive after 30 years. He could be the exception because remember, Adrian Peterson was fine after 30 years.
Bro, you froze out a few times.
Jim, did I freeze out on your end?
No.
Might be your Wi-Fi.
Okay.
No, you're good. And I got the recording on my end, so we're fine. Anyways, they're not going to be able to do it. I mean, Tannehill's not the answer. The fact you gave up Malik Willis after 1 year shows horrible leadership in the front office and on the coaching end because it takes multiple years to build a quarterback. If your quarterback doesn't have it after year 3, you're done. He's not going to be the dude. Jalen has now changed his background to Squidward saying, "You stay away from my funeral." Bet there's mayonnaise on the Krabby Patty, I'll tell you what.
But no, we done the research. No.
I'm kidding. So this is not about SpongeBob. This is about football. So again, Tannehill is gone by season's end. Either it's retired or whatever. Derrick Henry is hitting year 30 for his age, and very rarely are running backs productive after 30, especially when they're getting almost 300 carries in a season. They're going to run that man into the ground. The fact that he doesn't have glass bones and paper skin at this point is insane to me.
He's a freak of nature. He's one of those rare breeds. That's why that's how he's been able to last so long. Now he did get hurt that 1 year when he was about to go for 2,000 yards rushing, but I digress.
It's what's going to keep happening though. That's the thing. It's going to get hurt. If they keep doing it like that and they don't build up the offensive line and they force him to have 30 plus carries a game, he's going to wear down. I said this on Twitter. I don't know if anybody saw it or not. You cannot win the division averaging 17 points per game like they did last year, or giving up no, you can't win anything. And you also can't stop anybody when you're giving up the most passes. They gave up 6 yards per pass, and they gave up the most yards through the air for the entire NFL. Now, they did try to draft and sign some defensive backs, and I understand that there were some injuries, but that doesn't negate being the worst pass defense in the league. They're not winning more than 8 games. I've said it, lock it in. I don't care. They're going to be still, though, the second best team in the division because outside of Jacksonville, there's not really a contender in this division. Jaguars winning 12 games. I don't care. We're winning 12 games. There's nothing. You can't tell me otherwise. Quiet on the free agency front. However, Calvin Ridley did come off suspension, so we're fine. Dearness Johnson had a nice little spot or picked him up, which was great. We're at the point where we don't need, a star signing every offseason. We're drafting for depth. And we're signing for depth. Anton Harris was a fantastic pick. I watched his tape at Oklahoma. I liked the pick. I also liked the fact that we signed him because Cam Robinson may not be playing this season. For PEDs, we'll see, but it was a good pick. I think Parker Washington is going to be an absolute steal. I think it's going to be we're in for another good season. I mean, the team only got better. We didn't get worse. We didn't really lose anybody too substantial, if anybody at all. We're going to be fine. Anybody we cut or released were cap casualties or guys who weren't really starting anyways. 12-win season, win division again, AFC Championship is where we're going to end up. I don't see us winning it, but I see us getting to the AFC Championship game. So that's it for Jacksonville.
The other thing you got to look at is Ridley coming off suspension is almost like a free agent signing in a way.
Absolutely. And dude
will have a positive impact offensively for Trevor Lawrence because now it's another weapon.
Absolutely.
So,
Trevor's a top 5 quarterback this year.
He hasn't played in a while, so you're going to have to give him time to kind of acclimate again, but he can still go for, I'll say right now, he could have 12 to 1,400 yards this year.
His best season, I've said it, I've been saying it for months now, his best season, he went for 1,400 yards and 9 touchdowns with a broken foot.
Yeah.
A broken foot. Now imagine, he even said it in his press conference when he first came to Jacksonville. He's like, that was my worst, my best season. I had a broken foot. Imagine what I can do with a year and a half of rest. He's about to destroy defenses. I can't wait. But now it's time for the AFC East. Let's get right into it. Let's buy a little bit of time for Aaron when he's coming in. So we got to talk about the AFC East and send this real quick. we got to talk about the AFC East. So I've been saying it, and I've been saying it again, and we can do a joint effort on this one. I'll absolutely I'll take the Jets for sure, because oh boy, Jets fans, I don't know if you're as delusional as Cowboys fans yet or not, but you guys are certainly up there. Rodgers and the Jets are going to win 8 games. You're going 8-9. There's no other way around it. You're 8-9.
They already lost Chuck Clark.
You already lost Chuck Clark. And on top of that, if you look at their schedule, you can genuinely see 9 losses on this schedule. They're not going to be that good. Now, you've got all the weapons around you. That's fine, but it's the Jets. And like I said earlier, where do quarterbacks go to die? They go to the Jets because everything they do is under a microscope. When is the last time, besides the Mark Sanchez Jets going to the AFC Championship game under Rex Ryan, when is the last time a Jets quarterback has had a remotely decent season?
Pretty much since Sanchez. And the other thing is that Jets fans aren't realizing Aaron Rodgers is coming to a more quarterback-dominated AFC. You're going up against Mahomes, Burrow, Lamar, Trevor Lawrence,
Allen.
Josh, I'll throw Mac Jones in there.
I'll throw Deshaun Watson in there.
Yeah,
I'll throw Robin Tugg in there. And he couldn't beat a mid Jimmy Garoppolo. Okay, and Jets fans are already saying they're winning the Super Bowl. You know what? Right now, the Jets.
Oh, you forgot Tua.
Yeah, Tua's in there too.
A healthy Tua.
And that's free in their division.
That's in the division, exactly. A healthy Tua, and I've been saying this even with Rodgers, even with Breece Hall, even with Garrett Wilson, even with Lazard and Randall Cobb and Uzoma and your defense, you are still the 4th best team in your division. You're still the 4th best team in your division. I can't say 3rd, especially if New England signs DeAndre Hopkins. If they sign DeAndre Hopkins, like that's the thing. The Jets are going to battle for 3rd place in their division because Buffalo's the best and Miami's right behind them. And the only reason Miami's behind them and not better than them right now is we're worried about Tua's health. But even with Tua gone for half the season, still in a playoff bid.
Yeah.
So if Tua stays healthy all season, imagine what they can do. Number 1 and 2 are locked in Miami and Buffalo. And the Jets, I mean, CBS has them at 10-7. I got them at 8-9. There's no way. They're not that good. You're gonna miss the playoffs. You focused on the wrong quarterback, and that's your fault. I don't care. It's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. They're absolutely gonna blow this up. You also didn't help yourself by signing drafting Will McDonald IV in your first round pick. You didn't get any more help for Rodgers because you focused on his guys on his list that he totally didn't give you.
You could thank New England for fucking the Jets over by making the deal with Pittsburgh.
Yes, you can.
Roderick Jones. So thank you.
Belichick called up. Yeah, he called him up. He said, "Look, here's what we're gonna do. I don't really know if we want to. I don't want to give the Jets their choice of picks. So let's go ahead and trade spots. I don't really want this guy either. So you go ahead and take him."
And the con artist GM, that's Omar Khan.
Yeah, that was great. It's just the only pick of theirs that I like. They lost Elijah Moore. Think about that. Yeah. So, but they did sign Mecole Hardman and Randall Cobb and Alan Lazard. And the only one of that entire list that I actually think is worth a damn is Mecole Hardman.
As long as he's healthy.
Lazard is on the tail end, and Randall Cobb is 34, 35.
Yeah, I think he's going to be the same thing with Rodgers. One or two seasons, and he's calling it quits.
Yeah, they're done. Jets are the 3rd or 4th best team in the division by far. It's not even close. We'll go into New England as well. The only way I see New England actually holding their own is, again, they lost Jacoby Myers, but they got TikTok Juju Smith-Schuster. If they sign DeAndre Hopkins, they can easily fight for 2nd or 3rd place in that division, but it's a matter of time. What's happening right now is their defense is bailing them out, but they did get some more help with Christian Gonzalez and Keon White in the draft. Decent picks. Christian Gonzalez.
Finally got an offensive coordinator.
They finally got an offensive coordinator. You're welcome for, you can. Tell you what, Jalen, you can say thank you for freeing
We
Alabama.
been
from
said
Bill
thank
O'Brien.
you, man. We sent him. We gave him a gift basket.
Gift baskets, charities, whatever.
It got plenty of 4-leaf clovers. Oh wait, New Yorkers drink Snapple. What do people from Boston drink?
Oh, how stereotypical do we want to go?
That's what.
Beer, yeah, beer.
Man,
Lots of beer.
It's your
No,
cousin
not-
Sam from Boston.
Dunkin' and beer,
That's
Dunkin'
the one.
Donuts and beer.
Sammy Adams. Sammy Adams.
Sam Adams and Dunkin'.
But the Patriots,
missed
though,
it, thank
he was one of their key defensive guys, though. I don't know if you guys seen that. Well, actually, I know Garrett's seen it. Was it Jack Johnson, whatever his name is, getting caught with a gun after calling out John Morant for saying he was stupid? You go
Yeah,
and
that
do the
was
same.
dumb. Yeah,
That was dumb. That was so dumb. But then you also got Gesicki out of Miami, so Matt can throw him touchdowns and watch him murder the gritty over and over and over again.
Oh, stop doing the gritty, please. Only one guy can do it.
No.
Gesicki-
Okay, here's my
There's two. I'll give you two.
Here's my
Jamar and Jefferson can do it.
There's a third one.
What's the third?
His name's DJ Chark.
Okay, yeah, I'll give you that.
He went to LSU.
I'll give you that.
Mind you, I'm a Bama fan. I've seen him do like. Oh, Odell Beckham Jr. can do it too.
OBJ can do it. Any LSU receiver can do it.
He should do it, though, coming off of two ACL injuries, though. He should not have
No. He
OBJ's gonna gritty and blow out his ACL.
Do the whole gritty if you move him left, far right, taking about 5 feet from your next step. He should do that. But if he does it light, now he darn sure better not do it doing the gritty like all the way to the end zone like Jettis did when he first hit that thing where it really took off.
Or you can do what Mac Jones did during the Pro Bowl and just do it from one end zone to the other.
But Mac can actually do it. That's the only
Mac
thing
can
about
do it, which is crazy.
Here's the thing. He's not Adam Thielen. He ain't that bad, and he's not Mike Gesicki.
He's not Gesicki at all.
And he ain't even the offensive line, and he ain't none of the offensive line from Minnesota. You ever seen Jettis try to get them to dance to it? And at least he ain't doing it like Kirk O'Chains.
Well, he can only do that after 1 o'clock games. Prime
That's
time
true.
and
True.
prime
Good
time.
old Kirk Thuggins.
Yeah.
Bro, that whole
great. Just him in the plane just.
I see. Bro.
I love it. I love Kirk.
And then lose to the Giants in the first in the wild card.
Mm-hmm. Good old Kirk Thuggins. That's how it works.
Daniel Jones.
That's exactly how it works. Because you earn your nicknames on this show. I will not call him Danny Dimes. You earn your nicknames. That's how we've done it. That's how we always do it. And that's how we're always going to be doing it. You earn your nicknames.
Danny Jones.
Yeah, it's Daniel Tumbles.
I'm not even gonna call him Danny, no, because like that'll be disrespect to Danny.
Call him by his government and call him by his government until he earns it. Or I don't know. He might be a con artist at this point too, where he was able to. He's never thrown more touchdowns in games he's played in a season. Have y'all seen that stat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't he got more rushing yards than he does passing yards?
He might. But let's get back to New England. Like I said, New England's going to be fine. I see Jets going 8-9. New England's going to go 9-8.
Here's my question: Do y'all think Bill Belichick's ever going to be on the hot seat?
No. Belichick is king of Foxborough and Massachusetts. He never has to pay for his whole.
No, he's the public king, and not the underground big bad boss. No.
Question though. Do you know why? And I love bringing this up because it's fantastic. Do you know why Belichick wears the hoodies and the shirts that he does?
Because can't nobody tell him different.
Kind of. So there was a rule in the NFL, and it still is, where you have.
Right. I know he's about to go.
You have to wear a suit, or you have to wear team apparel. And Belichick doesn't want to wear a suit, so like we have to wear team apparel.
Who the heck wants to wear suits to a press conference and it's football?
That's all I'm saying, but it has to be team apparel. So he's like, any team apparel, and they go, yeah. He goes, all right. So now you have sweatshirts with no sleeves on them. You have t-shirts with holes in them. You have clothes that haven't been washed since he bought them. Because
basically
they can't,
the aftermath of a WWE event. Like you just get done with
a
match.
No. You can't tell him no because he's still in the right. He's doing the right thing. He hasn't done anything wrong.
What coach wants to wear a suit on the sideline anyway?
Thank you.
I don't get why basketball coaches did it.
Oh, well, that's more of a Yeah, you know what? I don't even understand that either. If I'm like Steve Kerr, I'm going out there rocking basketball shorts and like a
Yeah.
practice jersey and coaching that way. Come on.
I don't get that, and I don't get why baseball managers get uniforms either. It's stupid.
No, they
I'm
shouldn't
actually
get
fine
no.
with that. Here's the reason why I'm fine with that. Because look, you around Alabama baseball a lot as much as I am, and not to mention you hang around a lot of whole baseball historians, translation, old white guys. They will tell you it's the old ball player feel. Like you can't play anymore, but like when you wear that uniform, when you wear that uniform, it makes you feel like you're one of the guys. It makes you feel like one of the guys.
You know what makes you feel like one of the guys? Being on the sideline, being in the dugout, being in charge of whether they start or not. Like that's but we're getting way off topic on this one. This is already gonna be a 2-part episode. This is gonna be fun. It's already gonna be a 2-part episode. But like I said, New England's gonna be all right. They'll be 9-8. They'll be right above the Jets, but they're still on the bottom rung of the division. Miami did fantastic in the offseason. They got Jalen Ramsey.
I bet okay, so like with going back to New England. Their record is going to be dependent on whether they get DeAndre Hopkins or not.
Right.
Okay.
But I'm talking like 2 games.
Yeah.
It's not going to be anything crazy. They're still going to be 9-8.
True, but like it does move the needle a bit. Much.
It does. No, it absolutely does. If they sign DeAndre Hopkins, they go from 9-8 to 11-6.
Because people got to understand. Look, you get Mac Jones weapons. He could take you some places.
He's done fine without weapons, and that's the thing. If you actually give him a weapon, then he'll do decent. But Miami had a fantastic offseason. They made the biggest splash with getting Jalen Ramsey. It was a fantastic signing. You also got the only reason why the Jets were able to win games last year because Mormon Mahomes couldn't do it. Mormon Mahomes, and by that Mahomes, I mean Jackson Mahomes, not Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to disrespect him like that. I will disrespect Jackson all I want. He got drafted by the sheriff's department and for the police athletic league. Look, he ain't it. And Wilson will not be making he won't be making Rodgers' life hell. That's what makes me laugh too, because Rodgers ain't gonna coach him up either. But look, Mike White is now in Mike White is now in Miami. He's going to be backing up Tua, which will be fine. I think it's fantastic. It's a decent option. It's a fantastic insurance policy. They ended up actually picking up Devin Achane as well, who was one of the fastest running backs in the class. So they now have speed in that backfield. If they're able to sign Dalvin Cook too, they just get more loaded.
They get more faster.
Yeah, they just get better. They absolutely just get better.
But the question is, can that offensive line hold up? Because they didn't do enough on the offensive line.
The offensive line is going to be their biggest issue. This is why I see the Dolphins going maybe 11-6. Dolphins can easily hit 11-6. They'll be fine. There's going to be a bit of a fallback because now they're starting to learn about how, their head coach's, system and everything. Because your first year in the league is your year to choose the best, which is also why it's hilarious that Urban Meyer did as horribly as he did. Proves he's an absolute bum and a horrible coach. And I will defend that until the day I die. Urban Meyer defenders, you stay away from my funeral. I don't want you anywhere near it. But I see the Dolphins going 11-6. They'll be fine. Now the Bills are where we lead right into while we still wait on Aaron to join, if possible. Bills go 12-5. I mean, it's not gonna be much different. Bills go 12-5. The Stephon Diggs drama was all crap.
But we knew that.
We all knew that. And Diggs even came out and said, he's like, look, I'm gonna let you guys talk on me all you want. Like, I don't care. Say whatever you want. That's fine. We're gonna be totally fine. Bills did fine. They're talking about them signing Dalvin. I think that's dumb. I don't think they'll do it. You already got one of the cooks. There's no reason to have a second one. But decent offseason. Ended up, while they did lose Tremaine Edmonds, it's all right. They're still going to be fine. Osiris Torrance was a fantastic pick for a guard. So that offensive line got better, which was one of their biggest weak points last year because Josh Allen gets hit too much. And there was a significant fall off last year from when he actually got hit in the elbow and he hurt his elbow right there. And then he just started having more and more incompletions. So I think it's definitely a part of it. Hey, we'll see how it is. But I think they go 12-5. Bills are still the best team in the AFC East. Jets, you're still trash. You are the dumpster fire you have been for the last 5+ years. I don't care. You always will be, until you find a way to not be the place that quarterbacks go to die. Not my problem, not my concern. It's Rodgers. Why did Rodgers leave? Let's go back into this. Why did Rodgers leave a very weak quarterback division to go to arguably the strongest division in for quarterbacks?
Well, let's look at it. The Jets desperately wanted him, and I do use the term desperately enough.
Mm-hmm.
What has been Green Bay's problem the last few years as an organization? They've been desperate.
Or Rodgers in general.
They've been bent over backwards on down on one knee or both knees for Aaron Rodgers since they gave him the keys. But the big and that's where the issue lies with the Jets. They were the only team in the AFC West, and they were the only big market that wanted him desperately enough. And they were willing to do whatever he wanted to get him to come there. Whether it's coach, whether it's Cobb, whether it's Lazard, it doesn't matter.
But remember, he didn't give him a list. Biggest lie of the offseason. No, he absolutely did. He absolutely did. There's no way he didn't.
Yeah. And I don't even think it was a list as far as on paper. I think that would have been a text message type list. But the point being is, because we got to dip. The point is the Jets were desperate enough to give him everything that he wanted to get him. And and Aaron Rodgers knew that was the best choice because the Jets have been desperate to have an elite quarterback, knowing what their defense was capable of and given the weapons that they already have with Garrett Wilson and Uzomah. And the offensive line's not that bad neither. Plus, Breece Hall's coming back next season to help out with the run game. You get the quarterback, it changes your whole fortune. So now the Jets can contend in that division and possibly make a deep playoff run, possibly. They were desperate.
Sorry, go ahead.
So they were desperate enough. Aaron Rodgers, and plus Aaron Rodgers, it helps out his ego if he's able to do this thing in New York.
It's not going to. He won't be able to.
He ain't gonna handle that media.
No, the media's gonna eat him for breakfast. I can't.
Like wait. He's not gonna be able to outsmart them. No.
God. The reason why I know that Rex Ryan has a tattoo of his wife in a Mark Sanchez jersey is because of the New York media. I don't need that little nugget of knowledge. Never needed it. Still have it. And it's further proof of how intense the New York media is. Jim, you're up there. You see it daily. You find out crap that you didn't know existed.
Oh, everything's under the microscope here. Even down to how Aaron Rodgers is going to wipe his ass is going to be talked about.
He uses Charmin Ultra Soft, just like his ego. But let's get into the NFC East. We got to close this one out because we've been going for over an hour now, way over an hour now. Let's get into the NFC East. Let's kind of tag team this thing a little bit. Philly's still the best team in the division. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
You mean NFC East?
Yeah, what'd I say?
AFC East.
Oh, my bad. NFC East. Philly's still the best team in the division. Philly's still
without question
a 12-win team. No questions asked. They'll be fine. There's big talk about how, they had the easiest schedule last year. Now they have the hardest schedule. I don't like looking at strength and schedule right out of the gate because we don't know.
We haven't seen how the teams are going to play, and then you got to take account somebody. We always hope and pray no injuries, but we must prepare for them.
Someone's going to get hurt.
Somebody's going to get hurt. You don't know which team's going to hit the injury bug. You just pray it's not your team.
Exactly. These strongest records are based off of last year and how they played last year. So you don't know what's going to happen. So I don't believe any of that right now. They're going to be fine. Not concerned at all. Philly's going to still win the division.
Yep.
Giants are going to strangle I give them 10 wins.
I think the Giants are going to improve a lot, eye test wise, especially offensively. Defensively, they're going to show some signs. Evan Neal's going into his second year. Unlike Andrew Thomas, he's getting into the nick of his prime. So the offensive line should definitely improve some. Right now, the issue is going to be Saquon Barkley with this whole contract dispute because you paid Daniel Jones and you didn't pay him.
Which I understand. I don't understand the running back hate. I really don't, especially when you have a guy like Saquon.
Because, think about this: Isaiah Pacheco, he was a seventh round guy.
Mhm.
The attitude in the national media is you can easily find a running back. It's not that big of an issue to get an elite talented running back. You could basically get any type and try to fill in and have them and make them go
But you
if
can't
they
easily
want it
find a
bad enough.
Saquon Barkley or a
That
Bijan
is true.
Robinson
That
or a
is
Josh
true.
Jacobs
But
or
also
a
you got to
Derrick
go on
Henry.
but also the other part goes into it. They don't last as long as they used to.
No, they don't. Or Nick Chubb even. But they take care of their body in the offseason. There's a reason why Derrick Henry, even though he's getting 30 plus carries a game, has been able to last as long as he has. We're starting to see those signs though, where with Jonathan Taylor, what happened with him when he was getting just worked to death and at Wisconsin in college, and now it's showing. There's not a lot of mileage left in that body just because he was rushing 300 carries a season or something like that. It was something ridiculous.
Close to
Like there's
that.
not a ton of mileage left. But I mean, Giants will find a way to get 10 wins, 9 if Darren Waller gets hurt like he always does. But they'll be all right.
Not to mention, dog, this stole Jalen Hyatt. I don't know how the heck this Joker fell all the way down to second or third round.
Based on what's coming out of training camp, I'm seeing it. He's
They-
getting third team reps.
They stole Jalen Hyatt.
We'll see.
And as a Bama fan, you know what that dude did to you.
Yeah. No, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, I think Giants are going to be the second best team in the division still. Cowboys and Commanders are fight for third place.
I'm sorry, and I hate that I have to say this. They're not second. They're third. And it pains me to say.
It is not Dallas.
I can't. I have to. I have to be unbiased on this one if we're doing rankings. I hate the Cowboys with a burning passion.
Mm-hmm.
But I got too much respect for Michael Parsons.
But they just lost their offensive coordinator, so the offense
that is true. But we're gonna go overall team right now. The Cowboys got a better defense than the Giants.
Oh, their defense is disgusting.
And heck, I'll take the Cowboys defense over the Giants offense right now. And I love Brian Daboll, but we have not seen. There has been no signs or no evidence that Daniel Jones can be that dude. I'm sorry, I can't do it. Now, you can make the same case for Dak Prescott. I get all that. And I know Mike McCarthy is calling plays. I don't have no faith in that offense. But since you got two teams that their offense you do not trust, even though they got some receivers, but you got an offense that you do not trust, I got to go with Michael Parsons in that defense to be able to make a few turnovers and possibly score on defense than I do the Giants.
Dallas will not win more than 9 games.
I'll give them 9.
Dallas will not win more than 9 games. I'm calling it now.
I'll give them 9.
And that's why I have them in third place because I can see the Giants getting 10.
Here's my thing. I don't like it when the Cowboys are bad in the regular season. You know my routine. I want their hopes up. I want them winning the regular season. I want them to get them hopes up.
I want undefeated Cowboys so I can roast them going
into if they
blow it in the first week.
They go undefeated and they get their divisional round in Dallas. And I'm gonna give a prediction. Let's say if they somehow see San Francisco again for the 3rd straight year.
San Francisco wish Dak Prescott a happy Father's Day, I'm sure.
And this time, Trey Lance is the quarterback because 2 years ago it was Jimmy Garoppolo. Last year it was Brock Purdy.
Now it's going to be Trey Lance or Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold or Trey Lance. And you're still going to lose.
Oh my God.
And you're still going to lose because you ain't shit.
Boy, that's why I said I don't want them to be bad. I want the Cowboys to be good in the regular season because I want their hopes up.
Cowboys ain't gonna be shit.
And
you know who else ain't gonna be shit?
If you are a TV company, if you're a company or manufacturer that makes TVs, you want the Cowboys to be successful. If you're Best Buy, if you're Walmart, you want the Cowboys to be successful during the regular season because by the time the playoffs start and they lose, you're going to be getting phone calls the next day and emails and orders that night on new TVs coming in.
I can't wait.
There was a
What?
Twitter there was a Twitter comment saying like, what's an undefeated battle or unlike an underrated beef? Cowboy fans and TVs, without question. TVs will never go extinct, but they're an endangered species because of Dallas Cowboy fans. That's why if anybody's watching this live, we ask you to please pray and please donate to the Salvation Army on the protection of all televisions out there.
Arms of
This has gone off the rails quick. This is why it's going to be a 2-part episode.
All
For
right.
just 50 cents a day, you can donate to the Walmart TV Fund for Dallas Cowboys fans.
And for 75, you could donate to Best Buy because we tax harder than Walmart.
For $1, it'll be Costco because you have to pay for the membership.
All right, let's roast the Commanders and close it out. Commanders ain't it. Sam Howell's not going to be that. Sam Howell might be that dude.
Here's the thing. At the beginning, they're gonna struggle. They're gonna like be mid in the mid season, and then they're gonna hit a late stride, but it's already too late. They're not gonna make the playoffs. It's the same
That's
thing
too
like
late.
last year.
It's too late. The defense
Now,
is decent.
Chase Young, he's gonna try to compete for the defensive player of the year.
He might get traded though. That's the thing. So where's he going to go?
I doubt that.
We'll see.
I don't think they're gonna trade him unless he requests for one. But right now, he's going into his third season. Last year, he barely played because he was dealing with injury. No trade. Now,
see how he
Jonathan Allen, that might be a different cane, along with Deron Payne. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, the biggest thing for me is, like I said, I think Commanders are obviously going to be in last place in the division.
They
They're
gotta
just
get a
not there
quarterback.
yet.
They got to get a quarterback.
Sam Howell might be the dude.
No.
Sam Howell might be the dude.
No.
But Brian Robinson.
Here's the
needs to
reason
step-
why. Ron Rivera.
They need to get rid of their coach. I got nothing but love for Riverboat Ron, but there's a
I'm
reason why
glad,
they call
and
him
I'm glad
Riverboat
he,
Ron.
and I'm glad he recovered from all the cancer stuff.
Absolutely.
I'm glad he's gonna like live a very flourish life. But I said this a while ago: defensive head coaches are starting to become extinct, man, because
there's a reason.
because there've been a lot of mistakes made via the offense, and not to mention this league is hard to play defense on given the rules. Except for that guy. Except for
I
that
love
guy.
Rabel. No, I love Rabel. Don't get me wrong. I love
No,
Rabel as a
not
person.
very well. I thought you was like mimicking Belichick. Like that joke ain't going nowhere.
No, Belichick. I was
It's
whispering
till
into the mic.
death do them part.
That's
The
why
team's
Robert
going to
Sala-
retire when Belichick does. Robert Kraft can be like, it's been a great ride. I'm going to sell the team. We're retiring. Move him. I don't care where you put him. Our coach is
Yo,
gone.
imagine if you could trade coaches.
They can to the NBA. We did it with Doc Rivers.
How'd
in Boston. I had to go somewhere else.
that work out?
Worked out okay for us. Didn't work out great for Philly or the Clippers or anywhere else his bum ass went.
I mean, have y'all won a championship since then?
No, but we gotten farther than Philly and the Clippers.
Have you won a championship since then?
No.
Again, how far has it worked out? Y'all been in the same boat.
We've been in a better boat. We still got a hole in the boat, but it's a smaller hole.
Bro, it's still a hole and you're sinking.
We playing better than Atlanta.
No, you still talking about a hole in the boat.
We'll see how they do in the
We ain't built
offseason.
the boat.
This is a
We
state of the
rented the
NFL. No, Paul Pierce built the boat, and Danny Ainge built the boat.
No.
Let's talk about that.
No, you
And
talking
then they
about
took the oars when they left.
You said, and I know we're drifting off and we got to end it, but like you said, doing better than Atlanta. You ever talk about y'all built the boat? We ain't built the boat. That boat that we was on like during the Eastern Conference Final, rented that thing.
Y'all are Patrick with the board and the nail in his head.
I'm not gonna go that far. We're more like the guy that says like, "Give me the monkey wrench." No, that's a tool wrench. Give me a monkey wrench. No, that's a sandwich. Give me the monkey wrench. No, that's ranch. I said a wrench. We're that.
Oh my God, let's turn to a basketball show. As with all of our shows, this has gone off the rails very, very quickly, and I love it. But closing out with Washington. Washington wins 8 games. 8-9 games. I don't see more than that. And I mean, Howell's going to lead him to a couple good games. We'll be all right. The receiving core is fantastic, and the defense is good. But I mean, beyond that, Brian Robinson needs to step it up running the ball. Gibson needs to not fumble the ball. It's actually the first move I always make in a Madden rebuild.
They They got to find a way to throw the ball.
That too.
Oh.
So
Also, never mind. That's
All right.
AFC. That's AFC East.
all right. Well, that's pretty much it for all the divisions. Welcome to the all of our state of the NFL things. I'll probably chop up a little things at the end just to have some recording stuff. But thank y'all for staying with us. For any of you who stayed with us the whole time, whether it's live or you listen to this in your car. Hopefully, you had a very long road trip and you're able to listen to both parts back to back. They'll both come out this week at some point. We'll figure that out off air. But thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate it. You can find me and Jalen at Tuesday Sports News, or you can find me if you just want to hear my rants completely unhinged over at Is This a Bad Take? IT a Bad Take Pod on Twitter, or TDSN Pod on Twitter as well for me and Jalen Show. Jim, where can the people find you?
Twitter, Fan in the Van podcast is the easiest and pretty much the best way to get a hold of me.
Same for us. I run most of our social media, so any beef you have, probably my fault. Probably on me. Jalen, I might have written some checks that we're going to hope our teams cash, but we'll see. That's for later down the road. But thank you guys for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you like the show, what you can do is you can let us know by either rating 5 stars, retweeting the show, or commenting on the show. Feed the algorithm gods. I don't care what platform we do it on. We really do appreciate it. Don't know why it helps, but it does. At one point, we were the number 2 sports news show on Good Pods. So thank y'all for that. I appreciate it. I don't know where we're at right now, but we were there. If we're still not there, get us back. Help us. Also, go check out Jim's show it's always fun to listen to the show. Go check out his breakdown on the newest ESPN 30 for 30 coming out, Guns and Buns. Jalen's face.
What?
The John Morant and Zion Williams saga.
Oh.
If you know, you know. But we're not going to get into that because that is old news at this point. But thank you for listening. We really do appreciate it. If you want to we're going to get into shout outs as well. The best way to get a shout out is to retweet the show, like the show, 5-star reviews, all of it. If you like the show, that's how you let us know. If you did like the show, we appreciate you giving it a shot, especially for the 2 parts of this. I can't give you the time back, and I probably won't. Treat it like a bad date. It's not us, it's you. Or it's you and not us, whatever helps you sleep at night. That's how we're going to do this. But some couple shout outs if you're looking for other sports shows or other shows to listen to in general. Wrestling shows, go check out John over Wrestling Fan Insight, or Austin over the Wrestling World Podcast. If you're looking for normal sports shows, like we said, go check out Jim from Fan in the Van. Brent and Dave over 1420 Sports. The BSC Sports Podcast, go check out Aaron over Brutally Honest Sports, who sends his apologies for not being able to make it tonight. We're going to have him on the show at a different time. If you want to get on TikTok, go check out Darian over at Chill Takes. I want him back on the show. We both do. Darian, we will get you back on. We will find a time, I promise. If you're looking for another spot, or Jesus, I'm gonna cut around this. Go check out, not live, but go check out the We Like Sports podcast. Go check out Sports Bliss with Rob and Chris. If you're looking for sports betting, go check out the You Bet Smart podcast with Jake and Scott, or go check out Nate's Daily Wager. If you're looking for just a kind of, I guess, a show about history, go check out the Stupid History Minute podcast. If you want to find out what to do in Vegas, go check out Visit Vegas Places. Coyle puts on a great show. If you want to go see where the A's will eventually be playing for some reason, I will tear into Robert Manfred on my own time. That will be probably what we talk about next. Is this a bad take? But at that note, thank you. This will be a 2-part episode. And as always, we'll see you next time.
Peace.